to ride nobody wave. We're the ones who started with it. Translation, Yani had to buy, Yani had Yana hits. This goes so hard, even the ops go.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the venerable Superdome in downtown New Orleans. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Seattle Seahawks and the New Orleans Saints. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports.
And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley, and he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Right away, they rack up 10 yards on their first play from scrimmage. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They look to throw. It's Locke.
This one goes out wide for Barkley.
And he's got room.
And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
The offense has to love that because that was just a dump down, and then he turned something out of seemingly nothing.
And the best quarterbacks understand that dumping it down is often a good play, a better play than even what was drawn up.
Locke's throw caught here by Metcalf. And the Seahawks are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago, followed it up with another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
Block off a play action. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Only a yard in the completion. It's 2nd and goal.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Drew Lock, his 4th touchdown on the year.
And the Seahawks are on the board first here this afternoon.
And that is off the left upright. It's no good. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10
at their own 25-yard line. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Not a whole lot of room to maneuver there, and I think that's because everyone took care of their responsibilities, filled their gaps, held their place. No place for him to run.
Yeah, looked good. Everything got funneled to the nose tackle. They swallowed him up. On 3rd down, Winston.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down.
Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. And this will be taken at the 13. He almost outkicked the coverage. A 57-yard punt, 15 on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents. Well, that's absolutely going to fire this defense up. They made it their mission to deny that completion, and they came through with a nice hit and knocked it incomplete.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Up the middle with Barkley. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 10 yards and a Seattle first down.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge.
And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Here's Locke to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Marcus May with a pick.
And the Saints are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much. And it turned out that it got into his head a little bit.
On 2nd down, Kamara. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Play action now. Winston. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Uchenna Nwosu able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Here's Blake Gillikin now.
Returnable for Lockett.
And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt.
And out will come the offense as they take over. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one.
Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu.
And the Saints are going to get it back here just past the 35.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards. Back to the 33. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
6-0 our score after 1.
Second and 14.
Again, it's Kamara. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on third down. From the gun, Winston. And this is going to be intercepted. Tariq Woolen picks it. And the Seahawks are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line.
It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds.
This is the tight end Fant. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
From the 40 now on second down. Lock. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up third down.
First down marker at the 31. It's third down. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley.
And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. 48 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have.
Lock's throw brought in. This is Metcalf. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Into the red zone, it's Lock. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
They go back to the ground now with Barkley. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Saquon Barkley
with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year,
as his guys are able to extend their lead. This time, the extra point up and good. And the lead now stands at 13. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10.
Winston's throw caught by Olave.
And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And he's got his man on the crossing route. That's Landry. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
That one almost intercepted, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be second down.
Throwing, Winston. Flushed out right. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1. Jameis to throw it.
Got an open man. It's Olave. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Winston to give. It's Kamara.
And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Winston on 3rd and 2. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
They run. It's Kamara. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Alvin Kamara, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Saints are on the board here in the final minute of the first half.
Lutz good on the extra point. And it's now 13-7. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot. Well, no kneeling for them. They decided they weren't going to run out the clock. They decided to take their shot downfield, hoping to either make a connection or a pass interference call. They wanted more points to put on the board.
Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here. Clock now to throw. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. Now a signal and a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Clock now on 1st down. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And it'll be incomplete. Good job staying with him defensively. And it'll bring up 2nd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
A final shot before half for Locke. Floating one, incomplete. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now, they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Looking to throw on second down. Winston, throw left side, complete. That's Thomas. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. Here's Winston. Open man is Michael Thomas.
And a tackle going to be made at the 38.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
To the 36-yard line, stop there.
Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
From the 36, Winston.
And this, incomplete. He tried to check it down to his running back and nearly had the ball picked.
8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on third down. To throw, Winston.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now fourth down. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. Let's get the ball back for us.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They begin with a run by Barkley. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 89 yards rushing now for Barkley. It's a first down. Saquon Barkley running right. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived. And I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And the tackle going to be made at the 41 as they stop him a few yards short of the first. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
That looked great when he first took off because, in my mind, there was room to run and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his 4th down call.
He'll field this at the 5. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get him 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. Now Winston. And here's a diving catch made behind the line of scrimmage. That 3rd down conversion good for 23. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Here's Winston. Olave over the middle. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice, dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
From the 41, Winston. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down.
He was trying to get that one out to his running back out of the backfield, but that one was read and timed perfectly, and they were able to break it up.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. And the Seahawksans are going to take over at their own 28-yard line.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners, who've had the receivers on lockdown.
And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense. And this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it. And let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
They'll give it to Barkley off the option play.
And he will have the first down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good.
103 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback.
There he goes, left side. A big play there on the catch and run. 54 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got it 1st and goal as they search for what could be a game-sealing touchdown. They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Saquon Barkley with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year.
And the Seahawks are able to build on to their 4th quarter lead.
And can you believe it? He misses another one, his 3rd so far. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A gain there of 21 yards. Winston. And he's hauled in by Michael Thomas. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Whether it's a touchdown or a field goal, whatever it is, they need to score quickly here on 1st down. And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
Tariq Woolen picks it, and the Seahawks are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the 4th quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes.
Well, CD, for the losing side, they had opportunities in this one, but big plays just didn't go their way, especially late, and they have to suffer the L here.
It certainly felt like that takeaway